say that I think I forgot to say that while I was in this creative writing class last year, we had chosen Beverly's book for the book that the whole class was going to read. And so it was
The Ways of Our Grandmothers.
The Ways of My Grandmothers. And everybody in the class just loved it. And the recipes at the end, and it was really great. So then Robert asked if what I thought about having this conference, this writers gathering, and so it was Beverly's work that really sort of kicked this whole thing off. So I'm going to introduce Beverly. Beverly Hungry Wolf was born on the Blood Reserve, Indian Reserve in Canada. She is a member of the Little Bear family, the Blood tribe. She was educated at the boarding school on the Reserve, and after finishing her college education, returned to the Reserve as a teacher. She married Adolph, can't say his name, Hungry Wolf, Adolph Hungry Wolf, who encouraged her to preserve the traditions. Together they wrote Shadows of the Buffalo, which tells of their experiences. Her other publications include The Ways of My Grandmothers, Daughters of the Buffalo, Maintaining Tribal Faith. Can you help me in welcoming Beverly?
Good afternoon and welcome into my territory. I'm all glad you can make it here. Everybody did such beautiful presentations. I've really learned a lot. But I decided that I was just going to talk to you about writing. I never, ever in my life thought that I would be a writer. I don't have highly educated Oxford English, but I think my writing style is very easy to understand. I'm a nonfiction writer. I share the stories of my people. I guess I was about 16 or 17 when I left school. And after leaving school, I had this great need for spirituality, because when I was 14 years old, I decided not to be a Catholic anymore. I told my father, you know, I don't want to be a Catholic anymore because of my experience at boarding school. And my father was very generous with his knowledge. And he told me, my girl, you can go follow any religion you want. Just do it right. He said there was a time this guy died and he went to heaven, and he was standing up there, and St. Peter came out and said, you're here. And that guy said, yeah, but before we go in, I want you to tell me what that silver castle over there is about. I said, oh my boy, that's the Presbyterians. What about that diamond castle? Oh, those are the Buddhists. What about that gold one? Those are the Mormons. Well, what's behind here? Oh, those are all the Catholics. They think they're the only ones in heaven. So this story, I really took it to heart. So I decided that I was going to find myself a new religion. So I decided to become a Baha'i, because they were not racist. You know, they teach this to be kind to everybody. And then I think our Baha'i leader got drunk and took off with another man. Something happened, but I ended up leaving that. So I started studying Buddhism. And I thought, you know, this is not what I want. What I want is something from my people. So I went and studied with my old people. I started asking my family questions about our old ways. And all these stories started coming back to me. As a little girl, when we come home, once a month we'd come home, and all our relatives would gather, and we'd be able to stay up as late as we can, and we'd hear all these stories that my grandparents would come, and the nighttime was the time for telling stories. So we'd all lay around, and our grandparents would tell these stories. Well, the person that I came from, his name was Lohorn Ikashkini. My grandfather had 4 lives, and each of his lives were documented. So my grandfather was a little boy, and they had gone to trade up here in Edmonton. And on their way back, somewhere between here and Calgary, they were traveling by a river. My grandfather started crying, and his father told him, "How come you're crying?" He told him, "Right across this river, that's where I was slaughtered." And his dad told him, "You're talking kind of crazy." And he told him, "No, I can prove to you that I was surrounded there and we were slaughtered." There was 4 of us in our group, and we got surrounded there. I had 4 bullets, my knife, and my awl. So my grandfather died after the coming of the white people, and he came back right away. When he was born with scars. And so the chief said, "We're gonna camp here, and tomorrow we're gonna go across the river and check this little guy's story out." So the next day they went across the river, and he went right to the rock where he had hid his 4 bullets and his knife and his awl. And all the wood on the knife had gone back to dirt, and the awl. But they went across and they found these things. And afterwards, they came back, and all the stories about his life started coming out. He even met his old girlfriend. Him and another little boy, they were playing in the dirt. And this old lady came leading a horse. And my grandfather poked his friend, "That used to be my girlfriend." And that little boy didn't even hesitate. He ran to that. "Oh, you know what he's saying? He said that you're his girlfriend." And that old lady got really mad. "Oh, you snotty-nosed boy, what are you saying? Saying I'm your girlfriend?" And my grandfather told the lady who she was. So she took him to her lodge. If you're familiar with a woman in our ways, the 2 men become friends. So this old man took this little boy for his friend and lived out his life knowing that they had this special relationship.